Hey, friends! Your old pal, Barkey Dog here, back with another movie review. I've said it before, I'll say it again. And again, yet again. The 1990s were the last truly great era of Hollywood. You can go back and discover, or rediscover, all of these movies made in the 90s, and by and large, you find a lot of entertaining ones. Unlike today. So it's back to the 90s for this one. This time, we're talking about Demolition Man from 1993. Back when they knew how to make entertaining movies. Now, one of my viewers, Garrow, very kindly sent me this here Blu-ray off of my wish list. Thanks, man. He had some good suggestions for other titles, too. Well, I remember seeing this in the theater when it came out. Does it hold up? Well, let's take a look. Our story goes like this. Bad guy Simon Phoenix has kidnapped a tour bus with 40 passengers, and he's holed up in a rundown factory somewhere in Los Angeles. Detective John Spartan is called in to go all Dirty Harry and save the day. But while he's able to take down Phoenix, there's a massive explosion and all of the hostages are found dead. So both Phoenix and Spartan are condemned to imprisonment via suspended animation. Then in the future, Phoenix is released prematurely in 2032 and immediately goes on a murder-death-kill rampage. See, people in this ultra-modern city of San Angeles, which is what Los Angeles becomes in 2032, so they no longer have to face scarcity or violence. So the cops are all soy. Mostly they just issue minor citations for stuff, and they don't even have any guns, they just got these stun stick things. So they're in way over their heads and have no idea what to do to stop this kill-crazy crook. Fortunately, a sexy young cop, Lenina Huxley, is an aficionado of the 20th century and knows just who they need to get to deal with this guy. John Spartan, the Demolition Man. So he's unfrozen and put to work. Now, 2032 is a weird world, and Spartan has to figure out how it works. People don't listen to songs anymore, just commercial jingles. Taco Bell is a fine dining experience, and they don't touch each other. The only sexy times they get are through VR. You're constantly monitored and fined for cursing, too. No smoking, no sugar, no caffeine, no sexy times. Man, this future is a living hellscape. Now, it turns out the guy responsible for creating this future city out of the ruins caused by the big earthquake, the big one, which supposedly happened in 2010. He's this guy, Dr. Cocteau. Oh, and spoiler alert, he's the bad guy. He's not only arranged for Phoenix to escape, but while in cryostasis, he programmed Phoenix to be able to use computers and kung fu and stuff. He wants Phoenix to take out the thorn in his side, a guy named Edgar Friendly, a sort of freedom fighter who leads an underground society of outcasts that ruin the harmony of Cocteau's utopia. Will the Demolition Man be able to defeat Phoenix? Will Lenina Huxley agree to a fluid transfer? And what the hell do you do with the 3 seashells anyway? In our cast, we have Stallone, of course, and Wesley Snipes is in good form here. If he looks like Dennis Rodman, that's only because after this movie came out, Rodman began dyeing his hair the way Snipes did for Demolition Man. Snipes really hated that hairdo, too. Dennis Leary is here as the freedom fighter, and British actor Nigel Hawthorne plays the bad guy. He was in the Britcom Yes Minister, and he'd star in The Madness of King George just after Demolition Man. Bill Cobbs plays the older version of an officer named Lamb, one of Spartan's friends. a very familiar face, and Rob Schneider from Saturday Night Live is on hand. Mostly just an extended cameo for him. 2 years later, he'd team up with Stallone again in a much more substantial role in Judge Dredd, which I reviewed elsewhere on the channel. Andrew Gregory, another familiar face, is here as the warden of the cryo prison. Glenn Shaddix plays Nigel Hawthorne's assistant. You may remember him from Beetlejuice and Heathers. He also voiced the mayor in Nightmare Before Christmas. And then there's Sandra Bullock. She's a real treat in this. Perky, exuberant, she plays the comedic beats so well. But there's more to her than that. She even has one scene where she does some fight moves. This was not her first movie, but it probably was the first that got her widespread attention. Not long after, her star status was cemented with her turn in 1994's Speed with Keanu Reeves. And not since Candice Bergen cameoed as the Sal 9000 in 2010 was I as surprised to learn Adrienne Barbeau was voicing the computer in this film. So this is kind of a strange picture in some ways. It's an action movie, but it's almost an action comedy. There's a lot of humor in this, and it's a lot of fun. This future city seems like a cool place, until you learn there are no sexy times. That lets me out. And I loved the syntax the characters use. The way they speak is just odd enough to convey that this is a different world than the one we're used to, with its own idioms and customs. It's like someone sat down and thought about all that. It shows they really paid attention to the details, so that was cool. The futuristic cars we see were mostly actual concept cars from General Motors. GM only had one of the ultralight cars that were used as the police cruisers, so the studio had craftsmen fabricate about a dozen more. They do look pretty cool. They're electric vehicles that operate on a special battery that has a high capacitance gel in it, which is an interesting idea. And when Spartan wrecks one, the safety foam that he's encased in, that was also a real thing GM was working on, but it was never realized or put into cars. Some things, though, don't make much sense, forcing you to switch your brain off and just look past them, like this cryo prison thing. You're basically holding people in suspended animation, but they still get parole hearings? And the level of tech is way, way beyond anything that was available in 1996. Not only the whole cryo process, which looks like a far futuristic thing, but the fact they can electronically reprogram you while you're incarcerated. And there's no way people would be giving up sexy times. Hollywood has been on a social engineering bender for the past 8 or 9 years now, and it isn't working. It's just led to the studios coming to the brink of bankruptcy, not an enlightened utopia. But everyone in this movie just accepts it, and I don't buy that. No sexy times. I mean, come on now. And there are an awful lot of police for what little they have to do in this society. Basically, they just go around issuing citations for minor infractions, kind of like the police in the UK are doing these days, hassling you for making an edgy tweet. Seriously, is there no actual crime in Britain anymore? And why are these weapons in the museum still operational? Curators don't display working firearms. They all get rendered harmless. And there's still plenty of bullets and shotgun shells and things. And all of this stuff still works, despite being decades old. Why is it just laying around if these guys have all turned peacenik? Doesn't make sense. But on the other hand, fortunately, they do have all that firepower, and so we have an action movie. Okay, so You do have to accept some things that just don't make any sense, like the 3 seashells, something that's never explained, and the level of tech available in 1996. But other than that, this is a fun action movie. Goofy as some of it is, it all seems to work, and the cast is uniformly good. The action is very good too, so I'm giving Demolition Man 2 3/4 paws up. It's a lot of fun and definitely worth a watch to see something made back in the day when they still knew how to make an entertaining movie. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.